Oh man, where we at? A couple videos ago, there was a young lady. Her name was Deanna Taylor. She was sitting right there on that sidewalk, minding her own business, not bothering anyone. Then I imagine that somebody came by and tried to pick her up, and she said no. And they called 911 and had the police come out and deal with her. Now, I don't know that to be a fact. I'm waiting on the 911 call now. But it is stated in that body cam that someone did call 911. This is the location, the Sprint gas station on Gordon Highway. The young lady's name was Deanna Taylor. Homeless lady. She was sitting right here. And John Tarpley, Officer John Tarpley with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office in Augusta, Georgia, pulled up on scene on Miss Deanna. Now, the first part of the body cam was not given to me. They made an exemption, or they said they had internal server errors and issues. Yeah, right, okay. We don't know what kind of interaction took place between that cop and that female sitting on this sidewalk at this gas station. We just don't know because they didn't give it to us. It picks up with him approaching her while she's sitting there. Her bags were sealed. He couldn't see anything in her bags. He began to question her. He stereotyped her. Started questioning her. This is John Tarpley's first encounter, first arrest, by the way. He wasn't gonna let that go. He's gonna get that arrest no matter what. I realized I didn't do a 100% great job on that video, explaining, really kind of pointing you into the direction of what was going on in the video. Just know that every cop in that video, they're all still cops in this same area. Potentially out victimizing people still. So yeah, man, John Tarpley pulled up. I'm just gonna run this down for you. John Tarpley pulled up. She was sitting there not bothering anyone. Started asking questions. Asked if she got drugs in her bags. You know, at one point she was reaching for something in her bag. He told her to stop. Don't go in your bags. At that moment, she was detained, although he didn't say it. She didn't exercise her rights because she didn't know her rights. He took complete advantage of that she didn't know her rights. And that's what they do. If they find out you don't know your rights, man, they will completely destroy you. So, as that situation progressed, another officer showed up, Officer Ford, F-O-R-D-E. He is still employed with the Richmond County Sheriff's Department. Definitely going to be getting some body cam on him. He pulled up. He wants to call a Canine on this young lady, even though she hadn't done anything wrong. And they did. They called a Canine out here. So at that point, there was 2 cops, 3 cops, and a dog. The Canine unit, I don't know if he's a sergeant lieutenant. His name was Robert Flanders. I'll be getting some information on him here pretty soon as well. At the end of the video, he was telling Tarpley what to put in his report. He was giving his narrative, even though he wasn't on scene. He told Tarpley to write down that he saw drug paraphernalia in her bags, that he saw drugs in the way she was acting. She wasn't acting any kind of way. She just sitting on the sidewalk, man. Not bothering anybody. It's a heavy foot traffic area on Gordon Highway. The military base is right up the street. Right up the street. That Sprint, that Pilot gas station they're talking about in the video, it's right up the street too. For that cop not to know that is ridiculous. So, irregardless of what she was doing, where she was going, where she was coming from, that's none of their business. None. Zero. But they took it upon themselves to snatch her up with no reasonable, articulable suspicion that she committed a crime, was committing a crime, or was going to commit a crime anywhere near in the future. They just totally just forgot that part and just snatched her up, started questioning her, groping her, searching her, bringing the dog out, even though the dog didn't hit. And let me tell you guys something real quick, man. If a dog hits on your property, you're going straight to handcuffs. There ain't no negotiating past that point. You're going straight in handcuffs, and you're going to jail. But that didn't happen with her. So a whole bunch of them was looking. They couldn't find anything. So the Canine cop walked back over there, talked about, oh, I'm not trying to lock you up. I'm not trying to do anything to you. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. All that sad nonsense, man. They try to push on people. Just lying to them. So they didn't get what they wanted, so they kept questioning. You know, the narcs showed up. I don't know who these narcs are. I'm gonna get their names though. showed up and wanted to break out a huge investigation on pocket dust. Yeah, we don't even know how that got there because the dog didn't hit, remember? So how that little bit of speck, just a little speck of drugs ended up in her bags? Yeah, that's questionable, man. Real questionable, because you gotta understand, once Tarpley pulled the trigger on this and detained her and started putting her through all that, there's no backing out at that point. This is what all cops do. They have serious disdain and contempt for the American public. Most cops do. I'm not gonna say all of them, most of them do. And once they get themselves in a position where they can't back out of it and they can't make it right, they find something to charge you with just so they can keep their job, their house, their car. This young lady has one hell of a lawsuit. Now, as the encounter went on, they moved her about here and there. Almost every officer questioned her. Where you from? What are you doing out here? Where you, just nonsense, man. Again, she didn't know her civil rights. She was homeless. How would she be in that place in life? How would she know what her civil rights are? Being homeless, being down and out, being broken in life, man. And to have all these cops, 7 damn cops, and a dog show up and completely decimate her civil rights and her civil liberties is ridiculous. And they got away with it, man. All of them. There's no one watching body cam. There's no one trying to figure all that out. I am. I'm trying to figure all that out. And I'm gonna figure that out. That was Tarpley's first arrest. And in the video, you can hear him bragging about it. You can hear him bragging about it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I didn't know what it was like. I wanted to do one. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that arrest was going to stick. And even Flanders, Robert Flanders, the Canine sergeant, even said in the video, she's probably going to beat the case. She's probably going to beat the charge. You think? You think? The way they obtained whatever it was they obtained, we have no way of truly knowing what they gathered. You can look at the video, and it's like little specks in a tiny little bag. How they came about seizing that was unlawful to begin with. Many constitutional rights were violated during that process. Our Fourth Amendment was violated several times. From the detainment, from the unlawful search, from the search of her property. They kept her here for an hour and a half, man, while they totally just destroyed her. She was crying most of the time. Imagine you was homeless and you were just lost, man, and you were just sitting down trying to rest. And the police show up and just put it on you. You know what I mean? Just put it on you, man. Just treat you like garbage. You don't have no rights in that moment. You're just a scumbag on the streets. And that's how they treat people, like scumbags, because that's the disdain they have. Well, I hope Tarpley enjoyed that arrest, his first arrest. And I'm sure he got with his buddies afterwards, high-fiving and all that. Great job, man. Yeah, cool, man. You did a really good job, man. High five, brother. Blue line, man. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went as soon as they all left out of here. They did. They took her to jail after searching and lying. But Flanders telling John Tarpley what to write in that report, even though Flanders wasn't even around when it first went off, is absolutely insane, man. Insane that he told him what he saw when he knows damn well that's not what he saw. And he should have said something about it. He should have told exactly what happened. He did in the video while he was leaning on the back of the car. He was telling a narcotics officer, this is what happened. And it was exactly what happened. He pulled up, she was sitting down. He took it from there. But that's how simple it can happen, man. But as you can see, this is a very busy area out here, y'all. Man, I hope y'all having a great day. It is beautiful. I wasn't gonna come out here, but I decided, man, this really been bothering me over the past couple of days since I posted that body cam. And I know what happened a while ago, but you need to understand something. Those cops are still cops today. Probably in the same area. They're still out doing the same thing. We can't let that be forgotten about. And this is what I say, man, to all police officers. You need to be careful what you're doing, because someone like me is going to eventually come along and get your body cam, your public complaint records, your disciplinary files, and expose you. Expose you, man. Put you out there on Front Street. Let everybody know what you're about. That way when the public engages with you, like they engage with Richard Russell right now. You know, it's like the gentleman in my last video. Yeah, I've heard about you, man. Well, that's how they hear about him. To people like me. To people like us. Us, man. Me and you watching this video. I can't see the chat, so I don't know who all's in here. It's sun shining, man, and it's bright out, and my eyes are. Gotta put my readers on, but I know he's beeping that, but I waved at him anyway. But yeah, I want to come out here and show you guys the scene of that body cam and kind of give you a perspective as to what it was when they said she was in the median. This is what they was talking about right here. She was just down here. She was in the grass. This is huge, dude. Like a whole football field right here. She wasn't in the road. You'd be a fool to be in that road at that time of night. You would definitely get hit, for sure. It's happened many times. No one's that dumb. So she was in a safe place, man, being safe. On the sidewalk. Not bothering anyone. Not bothering a single soul. And as far as her criminal record that he keeps mentioning in that video, when he kept saying we have a possible meth situation here, possible. That's what he said, possible. Her first conviction as first offenders, it was sealed about a month before. I'm almost certain, I haven't looked into it, but I'm almost certain that some of those cops knew about that or interacted with her at that point, and then they just tracked her from there, man, and stalked her. That's what they do. That's what police do, man. They stalk people. Imagine if I was to sit on this curb for a few hours, the police would probably eventually show up. I haven't seen a cop yet. I was kind of just trying to stay out here until I seen one and act suspicious. So they'll come and talk to me. Because that's what they like to do. They like to shake people down that don't look like them, that don't act like them. They don't like that. But I want to give you guys a little more clarity around that body cam. Watch it close, man. Watch it close and understand what you're looking at. You know, we see this. If you go back and watch Cops and Live PD, you can see this over and over again. How the cops manipulate people that don't know their civil liberties and civil rights. And they take full advantage of them. And they exploit them. And this shitty TV show, Cops and Live PD, put that on display, man. And people thought that was okay. I never thought it was okay. When Cops first came out and I started watching as a teenager, I thought, man, this is BS right here, man. You know, these cops are just snatching people. And here the camera crew is filming it and everybody's okay with that. That's wild to me, man. That's wild to me. Super wild. But as you can see today, it's a whole different story. Those channels are no longer on TV for damn good reason. For damn good reason, because they don't need to be. We should never glorify bad cops. Never, ever, ever. They should not receive any awards, ever. They get a paycheck from me to do their job. I'll be the one that decides if they get an award or not. How about that? And that's where we are. I've been alive long enough for any arrogant bully cop to see this and show up and harass me. Hasn't happened yet. But I have been live long enough for that to have happened. I know that some of them watch my channel. I hope they enjoy the hell out of it. That reflection mirror, man, that's never gonna go away. These videos are archives, man. If you search Richard Russell's name on Google, guess where you're gonna end up at? On my YouTube page. Yeah, it's forever, man. It's archived. It's just how it works. But I can't see you guys in the chat, man. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see. The sun's like blaring off of the screen of the camera. And I see somebody gave me a thumbs up. Let's see. Gotta put my readers on real quick. Static. Hey, what's up, Static? I seen the thumbs up. I can't see much else, man, because it's just bright out, man. It's beautiful out here. Look at those gas prices. In that video, in that body cam, the gas price was $2 some change. And it going way up. Yeah, man, we're just out here on Gordon Highway. Sprint gas station. It's a fairly new gas station. Truck stop, new apartments way over there, that building. There's a lot of foot traffic next. There's a lot of apartments up that way on Barton Chapel where people just come to the grocery store, get what they need, convenience store, you know. There's nothing else really big around. There's a bunch of hotels down there, what have you. Hey, man, thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. thank all y'all, man. I really appreciate every single one of you. You know, if it wasn't for you guys supporting this channel, supporting these videos, it's a slow start. But you know what? We're making a difference right now, man. All of us. I can't see you. That text says something about Richard Russell. It looked like someone asked, how would I go about investigating Richard Russell? Richard Russell was part of the little police team. He was an investigator of Richmond County back in 2020. And they pulled over a young man named Jermaine Jones. His father was driving the car. And Christopher Brown pulled the car over for a tag violation because the tag had like one of those tinted plates on it or something. I don't really know. It didn't really specify in the incident report exactly what the deal was with the tag, but it's moot. To me, it was a setup because as soon as he pulled Jermaine Jones over, his father over, the three other cops showed up: Richard Russell, Leslie Gator, and not John Tropley, but Richard Russell, Leslie Gator, Christopher Brown, and Parker Leathers showed up on scene. That's when things took a turn for the worst. Now, at the time, Richard Russell was part of some type of drug interdiction unit or something. I have no idea. But Jermaine Jones had a knee-jerk reaction. Jermaine Jones don't have a criminal record or anything, by the way. Nothing like that. This is a good kid, man. He's 24 years old. But he had a knee-jerk reaction, probably like a lot of young fellas do. And he ran, man. He ran. And Richard Russell got a tase off on him. And according to the GBI's report, that taser, when he shot him with the taser, Jermaine fell and hit his head on the sidewalk. Now, I don't know how true. I haven't been to the scene. They're not letting anything out about that. You know, I'm still going through the issues with getting that body cam. They won't release it, none of it. And it's been a nightmare. But I will eventually get it. So what happened was they got him in the car. He didn't die at that moment. He was bloody, and they got him into the car, and we don't know what happened past that point. But he died. He went to a coma, and he died a couple weeks later from what they did to him. Now, the streets are saying a whole different thing about what happened. Now, you guys know me, man. I'm about the facts. You know, I'm giving the facts. I'm not speculating. If they don't give me the answers, then I'll speculate and I'll assume. But until then, I have to go by the facts. And yeah, Richard Russell tased him, and a couple months later, Richard Russell resigned over all this. And you know, Richmond County Sheriff's Department was like, yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, y'all got him, y'all did it, yay, hooray. No, they didn't. All he did was resign. Because in the state of Georgia, if you resign as a police officer, you can go work for another police agency. The only way that that's not possible is if the Georgia Post Council revokes your certification. It's over at that point. And when you see that in the certification that I post, they'll have file under review at the top left. That just means that either it's being investigated or has been investigated. But no, he resigned and he went to Warrenton PD, where he continued to violate people's civil rights. The 80-year-old great-grandmother from the Javante rental stop, where Russell went to her house and terrorized the living hell out of that family, man. Unbelievable. Undamnable. That's probably some of the craziest body cam footage I have. He just stormed into this lady's house and just treated it like it was on his own place. I'm surprised he didn't go in the refrigerator to get something to drink. So yeah, man, that's how it worked out. You know, it was really just given to me. It all started with a traffic stop that Parker Leathers did on my buddy Georgia Constitution Media, Ben. Pulled him over because Ben shot him a bird, and you know, Parker Leathers' feelings were hurt. You know, he's probably going through counseling today over, I don't know. But his feelings were hurt really bad. And he pulled Ben over and told him he was swerving. Ben has footage. Ben recorded the whole thing. It showed that he didn't. Parker Leathers actually swerved out of his lane. And you can see that in the video that Ben has on his channel. But from that, you know, Ben put me on to, hey man, you know, this cop's been involved in a murder. And anytime I hear a police officer being involved in a murder, man, I perk up. I get excited about that because that means someone got away with something and they shouldn't have. So that's what I look into. You know, I'm not really interested in, you know, I'll share a story, which my daughter will be mad at me, but she got pulled over a couple weeks ago for not using turn signal. And, you know, she showed me the ticket. It was all crumbled up. She was mad, and I was like, oh, the old crumble it up, I'm pissed off move, huh? And she crumbled up where she couldn't read the ticket. So I helped her out, and we got that squared away, and she was like, Dad, he was yelling at me. And I was like, okay, hold on a second. When you say yelling, was he cussing at you? No. Okay. Did you not use your turn signal? Did you break the law? Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to waste time on something like that, man. I mean, let's just pay the fine and be done with it. But yeah, I'm not interested in little things like that because, listen, man, usually when people get pulled over, and this happened to me, I got pulled over not wearing a seatbelt by Officer Robert Eastman of the Grovetown Police Department a long time ago. Man, I gave it to him, man. I was really nasty to him, not knowing that he was actually a good dude, man. He's actually a good cop, still is today. And actually, you know, told him that someone was going to try to kill him, and that someone did. It was my neighbor. And even today, you know, Eastman said, hey, man, thank you, man, for letting me know about that. Because the day after I warned him, that's when my neighbor took action. My neighbor's name is Billy Pate. He did 2 years in a mental hospital and got out, but anyway. But I gave him the business over the seatbelt prior to that, you know. You ain't got nothing better to do. You know, gave him the same old thing most people give police when they get pulled over. So, yeah, I'm not interested in little things like that. Now, if the officer takes it a step further, yeah, I'm for sure interested in that, for sure. When we start talking about civil rights violations and hurting people, yeah, I'm for sure interested in that all day, son, all day. Get a little excited there. Yeah, man, a little light traffic. It's a beautiful Sunday out. It's like an unmarked police car right there. No, I haven't seen a police car yet. That's weird. Not even pulling up here at the station. That looks like an unmarked one over there, but it's one of those used cars that people going by. But yeah, man, I'm just over here rambling. Who all's in the chat, man? How many people's in here? I seen static. I'm looking at the screen. It's really weird, man, when you're doing this on the phone and I'm holding it horizontally. It doesn't seem like it wants to. Click on the live chat. It still doesn't show anything. Orientation's locked. Anyway, I'll figure that out one day, y'all. Hey, don't forget to hit the like, man, and watch the video of Miss Deanna and that altercation with John Tarpley and those other officers right here on this sidewalk, right here at this Sprint station. And you will learn a lot from that video. You will learn about how police stereotype people, how they profile them, make assumptions on someone based on where they're at, what they're dressed like, what they look like, where they're from, demographic information. They look at all that. They don't look at a person and say, oh, that's just a human taking a rest on a sidewalk. They don't look at it like that. Like, oh, man, what the hell is she doing? Oh, she's up to no good. It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. But I want that video to, out of all the videos, I really want that one to be the one that I push the most. And I've got a short series I'm working on right now. I'm not releasing it just yet. I'm still working on it. And another video about it. But that to me, man, was like, you know, you have to put yourself in her shoes. You know, you're helpless, man. You really are. When the police get you like that, you're helpless. There's nothing you can do. You can't defend yourself. You can't call anyone. You can't call for help. They got you, man. They got you. They got you where they want you. And it should never be like that. That's why police are scared. That's why everybody's scared of the police. That's why when you see crime scenes, no one wants to get up close to the crime scene because they're so damn terrified, the cops, because of all the things they do, that they just don't get too close. And that's not right. We, the people, have a right to know what's going on. Whenever there's a crime scene, whenever the police are engaging with someone, we have a right to know, man, what you're doing. Man, I thought for sure that was a cop rolling up on me on the backside. Gotta watch them, man. They sneaky. Real sneaky. But yeah, we're gonna be getting some more body cam on. I'll tell you guys a couple things I got going on. And the sun's directly in the phone, so you can't see if anybody's saying anything. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for sitting around hanging out with me for a minute. Just tell you a couple things I got going on. I'm waiting on some files from Georgia Post Council. One county I've always been interested in investigating is Greene County. Oconee County. It's in between here and Atlanta. I've been pulled over there a couple times, and my civil rights were 100% violated. Of course, this is a very long time ago, so there's no need hashing all that up. But if you drive through Greene County or Taliaferro County on I-20, one thing you'll notice is a lot of police cars usually parked in that center median, and they're not there to protect you or to make sure you're safe. They're looking for drug activity. They're looking to pull people over. They're looking to stereotype profile cars and people, and that's what they did to me. So right now, I'm waiting on a list to see if there's any investigative materials on 6 officers that were fired and decertified from that police department. I'm also still waiting on the GBI to turn over the Marlon Primus interviews and investigative materials out of Sparta, Georgia, Hancock County. I'm gonna throw this back up there too again, man. I learned about this from Ben, Georgia Constitution Media. You know, Ben gets around, man. He knows a lot of people and he has a lot of information. And whenever he puts me on to something like that, man, it's like, wow, you know, a lot of this stuff's swept under the rug and hidden from us. So we won't know about it unless we know people in, you know, that travels in circles and keeps up with that kind of thing. I'm usually pretty good about it, but I miss stuff. But he did. He went down there and did an audit on them, man, and they handled him, man, threw him out. Marlon Primus, the guy that involved in Brittany Grier's death in Sparta, where they put her in the back of the police car in handcuffs, and he didn't shut the door, and she fell out while they were driving. And she didn't make it, man. She lost her life. And he's still a cop today. Been a cop since 1995 in the same police department all this time. Now, this is a crazy story about Hancock County and what they got going on out there, and I'm sinking my teeth into it. It's juicy. It's got some good character. It's got some good taste to it. And we're gonna look into it. We're gonna see how far we can go. So I'm waiting on that. The GBI, the Georgia Post Council, Richmond County put a request in for Christopher Brown's body cam. Still waiting on the McDowell materials. The incident happened a long time ago, but it's a fascinating one, man, with defects involved. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag on it too much, but it's something I'm working on. It's taking a long time to put together because this cop's been fired and certified, and his files have to be ordered from records retention. So that's what I'm waiting on. Got a few other open records scattered out here and there with different agencies. I'm very busy, man. I do a lot of open records requests. Do a lot of. I don't share a lot of it on my community tab because here's what I found out, that these police departments are starting to communicate with each other and they're warning each other about me. And I think that some of the material that I'm getting has been filtered and I'm getting sandbagged. Richmond County does this all the time. That John Tarper video, just know that there's 3 parts, 3 whole body cam segments missing out of that interaction. The first part is gone. They didn't give that to me. They said they had a server error. So we don't know if John Tarper, what he really did to this female and what she said to him to piss him off to make her want to take her to jail for nothing. But he did. So we'll be getting some Robert Flanders body cam, personnel file, public complaints. We'll go all in on that one because he's a Canine officer. I'm pretty sure there's tons of civil rights violations. He lied about the incident report to John Tarpley. Told him what to put in the incident report even though he wasn't around. Yeah, that told me all I need to know. Definitely something I need to look into. Look at this joker right here riding a golf cart, man, on the road. Man, he's got taillights on it. It appears to be street legal. Interesting. Traffic picking up a little bit. But yeah, so those are some of the things I'm working on, man. It's really difficult for me to make videos to update you on what I'm doing, or to even make posts about it, because some of it's fairly complicated, man. It's just a lot of nonsense you don't care about, really. I mean, I wouldn't care about it. But I do have to go through a lot of hoops and red tape to get the material that you're seeing on this channel. It's not easy. It's not cheap either. But you know, it's worth it, man. It's totally worth it, 100%. Even if Deanna Taylor herself got a lawyer and seen that video and got a lawyer, she can sue the Richmond County Sheriff's Department. And let me tell you why. There's this 2-year statute of limitations in the state of Georgia for filing 1983 U.S. 42 civil rights claim. However, if the person that was violated did not have knowledge of their civil rights and the gravity of the situation at hand, then they could possibly get an extension on that. It's when you find out. And also another thing is, if you don't know who the people are that violate your civil rights, the clock don't start ticking until you find that out. So those are just some things I'll throw out there, some things I've learned that you hear a lot of people say, oh, well, he's gonna pass the 2-year mark, he can't do nothing. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. Damn sure get you. You can damn sure get you after 2 years, take your ass in the court. Straight into court. How cool would it be, man, to hire someone, a lawyer like Deanna Taylor, and have her sue the Richmond County Sheriff's Department and she get rich? How cool would that be, man? And I'll make a video about it. I don't want none of the money. I'm good. I just want her to have justice. Look at that guy right there. Ooh, he just ran that red light. It's dangerous, man, if you walk in this road. That's why I say that Deanna wasn't walking the road, man. They're just going off what somebody said. And like I said, man, we're waiting on a 911 call. We'll see if those cops are lying. We'll see if they're lying. But I will say that the one narcotics officer that said that he would just shot her on her way, wouldn't have locked her up for it. I'll give him a little props. But the rest of them, scumbags, man. Dirty scumbags. Dirty scumbags. To lock up, to treat a homeless person like that, man. Someone that's down and out. It's like that song, man. You never know what it's like, I'm gonna always stand up for the underdog every time. I guarantee you that situation with that wouldn't have happened on the west side of town. It wouldn't have happened on the west side of town. No police gonna come out and walk up to any of these people at these pumps and ask them what they doing. They wouldn't do that with it. Of course they wouldn't. Man, he ain't gonna sneak up on nobody. Cool, man, cool. All right, man, so that's about it. I got a lot to do today. We got to get some more videos made, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope y'all are doing great. Be safe, man, be safe. And if you have an interaction with a police officer, be cordial. I'm not an asshole all the time, but if I detect that there's something else going on, yeah, then yeah, it's gonna be yeah. I don't talk at that point. But yeah, if you get pulled over or anything like that, man, have interaction. Be cordial, but be mindful of your rights. Well, cops will do a test, man. Here's what they'll do. I'll leave this with you before I stop the stream. Here's what cops do. Do you have any idea? This is the civil rights verification check. If you comply, if you walk up to anyone on the streets and ask them that, most people will give you their ID and let you see it, which is wild to me. I do it to people all the time. What they have to do is give you a lawful order to get that ID. Anything past that point, a lawful order is required for any type of movement, any type of instruction, anything that these cops want to do to get their little kicks off, to satisfy their fetish. Nah, I don't play all those games, and you shouldn't either. Lawful orders, man. Lawful order. Watch them, film them. Make sure you pull your camera out and film them, man. Most of them will retaliate against you. Now, I'm just warning you, if you do it, you could face some retaliation. However, if your civil rights get violated, then you'll be the one laughing. And here's what I always say. Go ahead and have your fun right now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do what you want to do to me. Go ahead. Have fun. I've had my ass beat by the police, man. You scared of them? Not even a little bit. Go ahead. Have your fun. Because when that's done, I'll have you in front of a judge explaining what you did and why you did it. So just know, guys, if you run those issues, just always keep that in your mind. Don't tell them that's what you're going to do or anything like that. Just know that when it's said and done, you're the one wielding the power. You're the one that can end their career. You're the one that can make them go in hiding. And by the way, all the police officers I've investigated that have been decertified and fired are in hiding. They're actively hiding. Seriously, man. Like, you can do background checks on them. You'll find out that there is no employment information. There is no nothing. They literally almost stop existing when at that point. You know, all these people running down red light again. That's where the police need to be out here watching these damn stop signs for somebody gets killed, like that guy on a motorcycle. People running the red light. That's what they need to be doing, but they not worried about that, man. They more worried about outbeating quotas, getting them numbers, getting them charges, getting them points, looking good for the sheriff. Yeah, look at me, sheriff. I wrote 5 tickets a day. Ah, look at me, look at me. That's what they about. They even say it in some of the video. Richard Russell even said it. Stat-driven agency. That's what they are. That's a unique looking SUV. Unique color. Yeah, I just want to leave you guys with that before I get rid of the stream, man. You know, protect yourself. Record the police at every chance. Every chance. Now, I ain't going to say go around recording them, you know, just for fun. Or be careful with that. You know, unless you really know what your civil rights are. It's one thing to say you know what your civil rights are. It's a whole nother thing to actually know when the violations occurred, when they use prior restraint to keep you from talking, to keep you from saying anything, or prevent you from taking any action. Most of them are actively engaged in prior restraint. Richard Russell is probably one of the biggest ones out there that loves prior restraint. Like, he won't let you talk. That's prior restraint. Whenever an officer takes an action to prevent you from taking an action or saying something, that's prior restraint. They do it all the time. There's Fourth Amendment violations, First Amendment violation. Those are the two most common ones when they try to take your stuff and make it theirs. When they stick their greasy pigskin. Like, if you eat pigskins, you know what I'm talking about. Greasy pigskin fingers all over your stuff. And they'll try to stop you from recording. That's the First Amendment violation. Or they'll retaliate on you for doing it. So that's a common thing for a cop. It's called contempt of cop. And it's not actually a law. It's just a Fourth Amendment violation. But what it is when they see you recording them, they don't necessarily take action in that moment. They start progressively taking slow moves and smaller actions as time goes on to retaliate on you for recording them. And they'll say stupid stuff like, "Yeah, my body cam's recording." I just want to let you know, guys, that John Tropley video is missing 3 segments. A lot of Richard Russell's body cam is missing segments. Most of the body cam I get is missing segments. So they're not always recording, man. You're not, those really bad parts, they're usually going to be taken out. Yeah, they filter that. So you have to record them. Multiple cameras. Get a dash cam, get a cam inside your car. Get a camera you can just pop on at any given time. Get a GoPro, that's what I use. I use GoPro, Insta360. I use my phone most of the time like I'm doing now. You gotta record them, man. You gotta record, you have to. There is nowhere I go, nothing I do, where I don't have a camera going. And I have a lot of footage, a lot. Most of it will never see the light of day because it's meaningless junk. But some of it will eventually trickle its way into the YouTube realm where you can see it. I like that charger right there, boy. Nice, it's clean too. But yeah, man, we're on the south side. That's where I was born and raised. South side of Augusta, Georgia, Richmond County, Georgia. Still no police, not even a police car, man. Ain't that crazy? And this is what people would consider the rough side of town. You usually see a lot of police over here. I know I always see them, but today I haven't seen hardly any. Maybe it's because Sunday, who knows? But hey, man, I'm really tired of waving this camera around this traffic. I know it's really boring for you guys to watch, but I appreciate y'all, man. I love everything about you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting the videos. You're not just supporting, me, man. You're supporting the individuals you see in my videos. They need justice. And every time someone watches these videos, they get a little bit more justice. Just a little bit. Now, most of them don't realize it. Most of them don't know the videos exist and that they're on my channel. But if they ever find out, man, I would like to think they would just get a little twinkle in their eye and a little smile on their face. Just knowing that one single person out there cares, enough to post it and thousands, man, Shoot, I'll tell you, I'll break down some stats for you real quick. Richard Russell, I'm putting over 1 million views just on my channel, on Richard Russell. The shorts that I have one particular short, it's called DEA Wannabe. That's what he is. It's got 607,000. Now I'm a small channel, so these are not big numbers, like if you see the bigger guys. But for me, they're pretty big numbers, but you know, it's not even really about a number thing, man. It's more about, you know, damn, man, there's a lot of people that have seen you, Playboy. You know, you might want to chill with all that civil rights violation stuff. You would think they would see that and they would say, oh crap. You know, so yeah, 1 million on Richard Russell, close to 4 million on Suits of Play. I have one short on him. It's got 1.8 million views. Lackluster ran a story on him that involved me with him at the railroad. Jeff Gray came to Augusta looking for Suits of Play over that same incident. So yeah, close to 4 million between all sources on that. Really looking to put some exposure and some eyes on John Tarpley, so that way when people get pulled over by him in the area, they'll know about him. They'll know to keep their mouth shut, don't say nothing to him. You know, whatever he's pulling you up for, take the ticket and go. Don't answer questions, man. Never answer questions, man. Never give consent to search. Never. Never. Even if you're in the right, you hear a lot of people say, oh, well, if you ain't got nothing to worry about, you have to cooperate. That's what police will say. Oh, he's uncooperative. He exercises his fifth. He's uncooperative. Yeah, no, that's not true. Anyway, don't give consent to search, man. Don't give consent to search, and don't talk. Don't talk. They'll try to be your buddy, like you seen in the video that I just released with Deanna Taylor. They was all sweet to her. Hey, darling, you ain't got nothing to worry about. What John Tarpley said, don't worry about it, darling. We're not gonna lock you up. We're not here to hurt you. Several of them said this. What ended up happening to her? Straight to jail. Straight to jail. And that should have never have happened. It should have never have happened. And but she went to court on it and paid some fines, and there's no telling where that young lady is today. She could still be here in Augusta. Maybe she'd move back to Missouri, where she's from. I don't know. But I do, man. I get really involved in these cases and this body cam, and I really do a lot of research and find out a lot more about what's going on. It's not enough to just to have the body cam up. It's always better to give some perspective and to let people know exactly what you're watching here. You know, what is this? And why do you have it? Why did you get it? There's a reason for all the body cam you see on my channel. It'd be almost impossible for me to tie all that body cam together from 1 or 2 stories. But believe it or not, man, most of it is born from 1 or 2 cops that have just... So what happens, I'll get their disciplinary files, and in their disciplinary files, there'll be another cop's name who done something really crazy in the disciplinary file. So then I'll start getting his stuff. And it just goes on. It's like dominoes, man. It's like you just keep learning about this incident here. I learned about Robert Flanders, you know, manipulating police reports, falsifying documents. He should be fired for that. He really should. He told Tarpley to put down that he's seen drug paraphernalia in her bags. No, he didn't. And just so you guys know, what they define as a crack pipe is the kind of pipe you can buy at any head store, CBD store. They're everywhere. You can go in any convenience store and buy these things. But they conveniently call them crack pipes because they want to give the public the illusion that they're dealing with an addict, a junkie, when that's usually not the case. Just because someone does drugs doesn't mean they're a junkie or an addict. Okay? Some people are just down and out in life, man, and just need a little something to comfort them. They're not bothering nobody when they do it. Leave them alone. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm pro-drugs. I'm not. I'm definitely not pro-drugs with hardcore stuff. But, man, I mean, here's what I look at. As long as you're not hurting nobody, man, do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't care. No one now bothering me. Now, when you come up rob me for your drug habit, yeah, we got a problem. You know, the police would be the last of your concern. But that's just the way I feel about it. And I don't know, maybe other people, maybe somebody feels that same way. Maybe some people don't. I don't know. But I say let people be people, man. Let people do whatever the hell they want to do, man. As long as they ain't hurting no one or breaking the law, leave them alone. Leave them alone. We still live in the United States of America last time I checked. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but we do. But anyway, thank y'all for hanging out, man. I appreciate y'all. I am really going to cut it off this time. I'm not going to